Hello, my name is Napoleon Atukito. In the next 25 minutes or so, I'm going to be your pilot, and you can be rest assured that it will be one of a safe landing. Top chefs around the world have opined that prior to a cooking competition, the participants or contestants will need enough rest. They also reckon that the contestants will need to take in a lot of water and less of solid food before going into such a rigorous activity. Now, the judges will also apply a rule called EAT, which are execution, appearance, and of course the taste of food. I'm going to present to you Miss Agriculture Cooking Competition, which is the elimination phase towards the final crowning moment of Miss Agriculture on the 18th of September, which is later this month. So stay tuned and enjoy the program. Who wears the crown in this cooking competition? The crown before the crown as the Miss Agriculture 2020 contest heats up. 4 contestants have been evicted, leaving 5 to slug it out for the coveted title. Those in the race are Nalis, Patience, Mami, Abna and Ama. By the end of this package, you will have the link to vote for them. But before that, let us see whether the ladies will do themselves good in the latest phase of elimination. The cooking contest took place in the foyer of the RST building located near the Bekan La Paz footbridge in Accra. RST is a wholly owned Ghanaian company that deals in agricultural machinery and other farm tools. The Miss Agriculture contestants were taken round to see some of the logistics in stock by the operations manager of the RST company. Part of the steps for them to leave agriculture and get familiar with the tools, where they have thrown hearts in the ring, hoping to emerge with a prestigious badge, Miss Agriculture Ghana 2020.
Nowadays, to me, farming is the much profitable business in Ghana. And it's no more like the cattlers those days. We have small equipment that improve upon, in which ladies can easily use them at the various farms. It's not hectic like people think of.
It was a cooking contest among 3 groups, all of which enjoyed reinforcements from guest performers. The common and stage-managed commodity marketed through this event is local poultry. Poultry meat supplied from the broiler farms of the Ghana Poultry Project, a subsidiary of USAID's agricultural schedule, dominated the dishes prepared by the lady contestants. This group, featuring Ama, Patience and Nalis, followed a recipe on fried rice, chicken and salad, all ingredients homegrown.
My name is Nalis and I am a group member of Pamela's Cuisine. The reason why we chose to do this delicacy is mainly I am a poultry farmer, so I'm very particular about the chicken. I'll give you a different taste of chicken you've not tasted before. Give you a different side of fruit salad. Won't say this salad the apple and kwan, pineapple and kwan, but this one we are mixing it for you to see a different variety of this and this and this. Consume everything and you are healthy and you are good to go.
I'm Irama Otama Amache. Today, we are serving the people of La Paz with omutsuo, with groundnut soup, with special Ghana chicken. And also, we have our dessert, that's the banana milkshake for everyone.
And yes, starting with any abom, contomre abom. You and Kasa yaba smoothie so. Who did you idea smoothie? Like every food starts with the main dish, the starter and the dessert. So for our main dish is yam and abom, and with the starter is the mango smoothie, and we have the salad fruit for our fruit salad. Yeah.
My project on rice production, local rice production, and so we are doing local fried rice, with local chicken. And then we also do abom with yam. That's our main dish. Thank you.
The second group prepared rice balls, popularly called omutuo, and groundnut soup. Apart from chicken, there was cow leg on the menu. The third group was a combined strength of abena and mami. They prepared yam and green leafy stew, known in local parlance as ampesi and kontomire. They added salted fish, locally referred to as kobe, to provide a balance to the chicken. Displaying abundant energy and verve, the ladies launched into the cookery, each group determined to emerge victorious. It was early days yet at this stage, marked by thorough rinsing of ingredients, lighting the stoves, and general preliminaries of cooking. The main thrust of the competition was promotion of homegrown foods, particularly local poultry. Thus, barbecues were made out of the product by another stand, only as a side attraction. The poultry sector is one area government has particularized in terms of action plan. It is to ramp up local production, promote local consumption and even exports, so as to restrain importation of same product with all the attendant negative implications. It is estimated that Ghana spends nearly $400 million in annual imports of poultry and poultry products. This has been nagging at governments in greater parts of Ghana's Fourth Republic, and they have tried to upend flight of hard-earned foreign exchange out of the country. Through the Women in Agricultural Development Division, the Ministry of Food and Agriculture did hand a seal to the Miss Agriculture contest. After all, it is one more avenue by which the youth may be encouraged to venture agriculture. Now we turn attention to one of the sponsors of this cooking competition, the Ghana Poultry Project of USAID. It did extend some assistance to the 2020 Miss Agriculture contest ahead of this phase of the process. Chiriwa Tufo represented Ghana Poultry Project at the event.
We want the youth to embrace agriculture, and Miss Agriculture is all about the youth. So what we did with them is that, first of all, we have given the contestants technical training for 3 days, and we took them to the field practical training visit to some selected farms to speak with women who are into agriculture and who are doing very well.
At this point, the meals that were being prepared by the contestants were half cooked, but they were also up for study in the larger picture. These included tableware, the service set, organization, demeanor, and appearance. Another item that was promoted through this event was Made in Ghana rice. This objective cannot be attained without product advertisements and consumer patronage. The two combine to whet appetites and promote taste for products. Government has vowed to increase local rice production to an annual figure of 900,000 metric tons, representing a jump of about 50%. A statement by the founder of Miss Agriculture Contest, Oheneba Akosua-Chiriwa, shows that her movement furthers national agenda without any reference to government.
Saying is through our cooking competition, we want to promote the eating of Ghana chicken, that is birds that are raised in our own country, and then the eating of Ghana rice. And so we are supported by various companies. We started with a training which was organized by the Ghana Poultry Project, which is GPP, to support these young ladies, open them up to the poultry sector and the possibilities in it, and then the advantages they can take out of that. So based on that, today is actually the cooking competition, just to let Ghana know that indeed Christmas is coming, and even if it's not Christmas, on a daily basis, let's enjoy our own Ghana chicken, our own rice.
She turned to face the public to evangelize objectives of the day. Quote, eat homegrown foods, particularly poultry and rice, unquote. She was third placed in a 2016 Ghana Most Beautiful All-Female Contest and initiated this project to positively affect society. She's got 3 major sponsors, but looking for more to add to the prizes to make Miss Agriculture Contest a treasure trove. All this while the cookery contest was alive with contestants glued to activities with speed and dispatch. Food scientists classify food under 2 broad themes: food with macronutrients are carbohydrates, protein, and fat. They all provide energy, which enables systems in the human body to perform efficiently. Micronutrients are the vitamins and nutrients in food. They aid the workings of body enzymes and hormones. Dr. Jolene Mateko Nyako of the CSIR Food Research Institute is an advocate for indigenous African foods as most nutritious and healthy.
During this COVID-19, a lot of proponents of different messages are around. Make sure that the nutritional information that you are getting is valid and it's based on evidence. There are lots of people with products out there calling them boosters and all kinds of things. Be wary about that. The best booster you can get is your fresh food. And there's a need for us to go back into various localities and look at our indigenous food, the indigenous African food, the mpotompoto, the aprapansa, the akule, how we do our fechudechi, the indigenous recipes that conserve nutrients. Because when you look at our indigenous recipes, they were made in such a way that majority of the foods are fresh, in terms of not fresh as in raw, but fresh as in majority of the nutrients are preserved. Like we spoke about the contomere earlier on. Instead of boiling, forefathers used to blanch. They don't put it in direct hot water. They blanch it with steam. And instead of stewing their foods, they soup it. The truth about that is, you see that even though they didn't understand the science behind that, it's that they were making sure that the nutrients that are water soluble, we get as much as we want it. And by increasing your hydration level, you increase the ability for your blood to flow through the system, especially if you already have underlying conditions. So these are some of the practices that we need to go back to.
The nutrition scientist said when it comes to food, people must help themselves. This is how she put it.
Every food can be harmful to you if you take it in excess. But the caution here is that to look at what you are eating, especially in the circumstance in which you have yourself. So if you're somebody who is overweight, you look at your carbohydrate and fat intake. For somebody who is hypertensive or diabetic, you look into your sugars, carbohydrates, and also your fat intake. Then if we cast to the general public, the proponent now is now fashion that everybody wants to eat fast food. But as much as possible, we should have some sovereignty over the food that we eat. So it's better to prepare your food at home and take it to work. Or even if you have food from vendors, look at vendors who try to keep a lot of environmental hygiene and as well as also keep the foods fresh as possible. So if you're eating wache, look at the wache seller who has maybe some steamed salad or some fresh salad. Advisedly, you don't have to add the mayonnaise because it increases the fat content, but you can have the freshly cut onions. If there are no vegetables around, other vegetables around, you can have onions, you can have any other fresh vegetable, or you can even cut them from home and add to the food that is vended out to you when you go to work or in the environment in which you find yourself.
Expert opinion is not monolithic as to kinds of food of benefit to man. It is a mouthpiece which recommends that food must be well cooked to eliminate toxins from them. However, cooking also reduces the nutrient load in foods. From the farm, food crops may harbor chemicals, heavy metals, parasites, fungi, viruses, and bacteria, which cause food poisoning. Bacteria-related food poisoning is the most common, but fewer than the 20 known bacteria in the world are responsible for this danger. These bacteria or toxins are found on many raw foods. Therefore, illness can be prevented by 1. Controlling the initial number of bacteria present. 2. Preventing the small number of bacteria from growing. 3. Destroying the bacteria by proper cooking. And 4. Avoiding recontamination. Poor personal hygiene, improper cleaning of storage and preparation areas, unclean utensils cause contamination of raw and cooked foods. The temperature range in which most bacteria grow is between 5 and 60 degrees Celsius. On the authority of scientists, GTV Farmers Weekly can report that undercooking or improper processing of home-canned foods causes very serious food poisoning. Whilst painting the devastating effect of a pathogen like Salmonella, Dr. Margaret Owusu of the CSIR Food Research Institute says that those that ferment foods are acceptable.
Organisms that take part in fermented food. So, for instance, we are interested in developing a starter culture for a fermented food. Then we would isolate the organisms that are involved in the fermentation and then reuse it to enhance the fermentation. So, I mean, for instance, if we are working with cocoa, we would want to find out which organisms are involved in the fermentation of cocoa so that we can look at their technological properties, the properties that they have that enable them to give us the fermented cocoa that we have. So that's the good part. But the bad part, those are the disease-causing organisms. Those are the ones which contaminate food so that when you eat the contaminated food, you get sick. So for instance, if a food is contaminated with Salmonella, when you eat it, you get typhoid. So that's a bad microorganism.
However, not all foods that are heated results in removal of toxins. Crops may absorb lead found in the environment in which they occur. There is no way of reversing damage done by lead poisoning, which is why medical doctors emphasize prevention. But a diet high in calcium, iron, and vitamin C can help the body absorb less lead. The chemical compound is a highly toxic metal and strong poison, often causing fatalities. Countries reject food imports that bear traces of lead.
Last year or so, China dumped some of the produce bought from Ghana because of what? High heavy metal content. Even in cocoa. Cocoa, we're experiencing high lead content. And so when samples are brought here, we can determine whether the levels of these heavy metals are permissible or not permissible.
Science is an uncanny sixth sense. Thus, in poultry, for instance, professional breeders find the need to withdraw drug load in the birds before killing for consumption. There is more than meets the eye when it comes to products we buy or acquire for use or consumption.
We don't normally give them a lot of drugs because we want to prevent drug resistance in humans when they consume the birds. And before we slaughter our birds, we do withdrawal of drugs 2 weeks prior to slaughter so that we don't have any residuals in the dressed meats.
Foods that are recommended to be eaten raw are 1. Fruits. There isn't much science showing the benefits of cooking fruits. 2. Red peppers. These contain vitamin C, which is unstable in heat. Hence, the levels of the nutrient could plummet if they are cooked. 3. Garlic. Cooking garlic reduces the antioxidant allicin, which helps fight heart disease and cancer. 4. Spinach. It is high in vitamin C, and cooking this green reduces by 2/3. Intake of cooked spinach helps the body's absorption of calcium, iron, and magnesium. Under these circumstances, it is better to alternate raw intake with intake of cooked spinach. Onions. It is best to eat onions raw to get their blood pressure lowering and heart protecting benefits. 6. Broccoli. This can be slightly cooked, but in its raw state, broccoli does what it does best, that is fighting cancers. Out of the classroom, we are back to the field where the Miss Agriculture Cooking Contest panned out. In their cooking contest, the young ladies had their hands on both cooked and raw foods for the dining table, the starters, the main course, and the desserts. The main courses were the triad of rice balls and soup, fried rice, salad and stew, as well as yam, ampesi and contomere. Again, let's refresh our minds that the locally bred broiler chicken was a common thread in the dishes. The 3 judges tasted the foods, and these were their comments.
First of all, they have to go to catering schools because catering schools also help. Being in the house, you go to school, you go to a lot of places. You won't get the time to help in the house and learn how to cook. So I would suggest going to vocational schools will also help.
America ako table back home dada. Na dwana mi kodi wan pesie na mi kodi ni control me say. Enya asem to mo share dan kasa me pe ma wo sa maiwa no. Na ma ko maiwa ne ma me ho no makosua aduane ne no ankasa. Na de to so mienu so yesi we RST table. RST table so de La Paz ya company. Inti no aduane me kan here me kan dada. Amusi local rice. Where that's a perfect rice by a cutter. Because I'm away there. I shrunko at the mushrunko crown. When you where the local rice and they made perfect rice, they be made the local rice.
When we go to the farm and we do all this, it all lands on that table. So this will determine if all the weather the farmer does was really worth it. So this is where it will end, and they've done well. Following this announcement, one group erupted with joy. They were declared victors.
So the winner for the 2020 Miss Agriculture Ghana Cooking Competition goes to Casta Diropa.
In recapping the ingredients they used, the winning group had avocado, pear, salted fish, popularly called kobe, green leafy veggie called contomere, which are the leaves on cocoyam plants, as well as yam. The complex linkages between food security, nutrition, and sustainable agriculture are reflected in the target outlined under the UN Sustainable Development Goals, item number 2. It states that people need food in sufficient quantities and appropriate utilization of those food supplies to meet dietary needs. Only then can it be said that nations are on a steady path to reduce or eliminate hunger and malnutrition. Usually, the end result of cooking contests have been gourmet or exotic meals. However, food in all its grace is indispensable to human. It is on record that people who went on hunger strike died, just as those who were caught in famine situations died in their hundreds of thousands and millions. It does suggest that absence of ill health without food can only lead to starvation and eventually death. This is where Farmers Weekly ends. I hope you'll keep the farmer in your mind. After all, what ends up in our place on the dining table comes from them. My name is Napoleon Atukitu. You've been watching this program on Ghana Television. Goodbye.
Thank you, Mr. DJ.